So this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is: a growing caravan heads for the U.S. border in the final months of Biden's administration. Does that surprise you? Not really. All right, let's check it out. Oh, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it.
At least 1,500 migrants are rushing to our southern border, trying
Bro, would you look at that?
to make it before President-elect Donald Trump takes office.
And those migrants on the march as the Biden administration
Is this the same
quietly loosens immigration
Caravan
policies before they go.
Griff Jenkins joins us now for more. Hey, Griff.
Hey, good morning, guys. Here they come. This is the sixth caravan coming out of southern Mexico in the past few months. And it's clear that Mexico's new president, Claudia Sheinbaum, is doing little to stop them. Take a look here. You can see it is 1,500 strong and growing. The caravan's leader, Luis Villagran, told me yesterday he's encouraging these migrants to march on despite the incoming Trump administration's threat to deport them. And the migrants seem unafraid.
Bro, this is crazy.
I
watched an interview where Trump said there will be a deportation of anyone who committed a crime from any country. But for an immigrant who hasn't committed any crime, there won't be a deportation.
Bro, the crime was you entering into the United States of America illicitly. Like, that was the crime. Like, that in itself is a crime. Like, for the most part, Americans cannot actually trespass, but for some reason, they are completely allowed to trespass. It's crazy. No. If you're not going through a valid port of entry, if you are actually not speaking to anything CBP oriented, then you are coming into the United States of America illegally. Then by that definition, that is the crime. I mean, but okay.
So I'm not afraid of anything. Whatever happens, the dream is the American dream, and to be there.
This caravan comes as Border Patrol Chief Jason Owens yesterday said in the past 51 days, they have already arrested 20 sex offenders at the southern border, 3 child sex offenders in just the last 72 hours. And guys, those are just the ones we know about. Don't forget about the gotaways. Meanwhile, ICE sources confirmed to me yesterday they are rolling out an ICE portal app here in New York and a few other cities, allowing migrants to skip in-person check-ins to their local ICE office. They say it's needed due to the overwhelming backlog of in-person appointments, which goes back 5-10 years.
Multiple years.
And get this, ICE sources also told me they wanted to make it public, but their DHS bosses stopped them from putting out anything to the press on it.
Unbelievable.
Not surprising.
Yeah,
So what they're doing is they're trying to make everything harder for the next president coming in by loosening up everything as they're basically exiting the White House. Guys, that's absolutely pitiful. It's un-American.
totally shut down their press operation. Hey, Griff, why do you think this caravan, what could you tell us? How intact do you think it's going to be, being that you are in contact with the leader by the time it gets here?
Well, we'll see what happens, Brian. And, you know, they're in Huitzla. That's where they are in Mexico. It's the northern city in the Chiapas southern state down there. And the migrants often break apart once they get out of that Chiapas state after they leave Huitzla. And part of the reason why they do that, Brian, is because the smugglers pick them up there and try and offer them ways to pay to move quickly to our southern border. And I will be willing to bet, although
a lot of them are going to take it if they have it.
I'm willing to bet that the smugglers are offering premiums for top dollar to hurry up and get there because of the concern that under the Trump administration, they're not going to have the success they've had over the past 4 years.
Guys, yeah, I can definitely tell that the new president of Mexico is basically doing nothing about this, guys. Like, if I cannot imagine this actually happening in the United States of America. Example, a gigantic group of people such as this here, walking down, for the most part, unpermitted, let's say, down one of our highways. And you know exactly where they're going. They're going to Canada. Okay, hypothetically here. Like, this could never happen. We would never allow this to happen, guys. And the fact that they're doing nothing about it is very troubling, guys.
They know the routes and how to get there. Looks like it's already been cut in half as well, Griff. Great job.
Right. And just one last question. The new Mexican president, how does she feel about illegal immigration? Will she be able to deal with Trump?
I don't think she cares about it.
Obrador, for all his faults, him and Trump did hit it off and they did work together?
You know, it's fascinating you asked that, and it's a great question. It's the $64,000 question, Brian, because Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico's new president, took over a few months ago. She's really holding her cards close to her chest because she knows she's going to have to negotiate something with the incoming President Trump because he intends to reinstall that Remain in Mexico, and that requires Mexico's cooperation.
Right, and so far she has not been strong.
So far, she's done little to stop these caravans. This is a 6-1 that's taken off under her leadership.
Right.
Yeah, that looks a little obvious.
If she doesn't cooperate,
Right.
it's going to hurt their economy.
When you look at the
I mean, it's going to hurt their economy, sure, but keep this in mind. Mexico makes a gigantic amount of things for the United States of America, okay? Keep that in mind. Mexico is not really a country we should be enacting or threatening to enact any type of severe tariffs to, okay? If you want a lot, and I mean a lot of things to get more expensive, tariff Mexico. There has to be another option, specifically for Mexico. There has to be, because if you're allowing them to enter into your country, right? And you know exactly where they're going, and you're doing nothing to actually stop the fact that they're guys, come on, do better.
the migrants that are
Thanks,
crossing, thank you, Griff. When you look at just the hundreds, thousands of migrants that are walking toward our border, we don't know who they are.
Nope.
And
Right.
in that crowd could be some criminals. And that's our biggest fear, especially as women. And a lady who works for Alvin Bragg, she's the assistant DA. She's 38 years old. She was going home to her apartment on Sunday early in the morning at 2 o'clock in the morning. She walks into her apartment complex, and in the hallway is this guy doing a lewd act. You can imagine what he's doing to himself. She sees him, and then she says he robs her, and he takes her phone, and they were able to track him to one of these migrants.
Bro, can you imagine? Wait a second, hold on. I want to get a mental picture of what she just said here. All right, so this man is in the hallway handling himself apparently in public, and then he sees someone. He's shocked by it. So, but instead of like just running off, he decides to pilfer from the person who caught him doing all types of craziness to himself. That's the mental picture I want, because I had to experience it mentally. I wanted you to make sure you fully heard all of that, guys.
Shelters.
So Alvin Bragg, in his office, Mr. Put illegal criminals first.
That's crazy.
Who wants
Look
to
at this
prosecute
guy.
Danny Penny and President Trump? And do you think he has any regrets? This is the bile that are here.
They're making fun of our laws because they understand that they're going to be right back out on the street. They're not going to be held in custody much longer.
Because they did put him out without bail right away, but...
Well,
I mean, it's just crazy.
she's lucky to be alive, but they caught him. They tracked her cell phone because he took her phone. They nabbed him at the Row Hotel migrant shelter in Midtown.
Oh, we're in New York?
It turns out his
Oh,
home
no.
address, according to I think it's the Post, the article I was reading, his hometown is in Queens at one of the migrant shelters. So he's here illegally.
Yeah, with his debit card that we're giving him because they didn't like the food that was given to them and they were throwing it out. So we decided to give them debit cards so they can have.
Has Alvin Bragg said anything about this?
Yeah, but by the way, that's probably why he's in jail.
Right.
Because he hit somebody in his office.
In his office.
But it's okay to hit.
But it's happening
one
to
of us.
average day New Yorkers every day.
Right. And by the way, the GOP standing up, speaking out in Massachusetts about the governor making those ignorant remarks about illegal immigrants. We're going to protect them. We're not going to cooperate with ICE. The Republicans are beginning to, even though they're not a lot of them, they're beginning to speak out and talk about the embarrassment of their mayor and governor when it comes to illegal immigrants.
And when they're arrested, they're laughing, they're smirking.
Yeah.
Remember the guy in Midtown?
He flicked off the camera.
Exactly.
They were
laughing.
smirked and laughed there as well. And these are
know they're not gonna
guys
get
that
in
shot at cops, right? And they're laughing about it. We let them out too, by the way.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Yeah, for the most part, like in Manhattan currently, you can basically get away with nearly everything. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to say you should go to Manhattan and do all types of craziness, but yeah, you can basically get away with everything based off of these like dollar bails or like, please don't put anyone in jail for doing anything terrible. There are other things that are going on that are causing them to do things that are terrible. That may in fact be slightly true, but the fact is that they're doing terrible things occasionally, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and point out and say that it is not every single one of the people that have come in. It is not. I'm going to go on a ledge and say probably like 2%. But the problem is that the percentage is so small, but they're doing such heinous acts that it kind of paints a brush all over the other individuals who, in fact, broke the law coming into the country, but they haven't done anything else since. You get what I mean here? There needs to be levels to this, guys. But either way, guys, listen, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. This is my lightsaber. Hey guys, you guys subscribe to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Oh, also, Mr. L. Boyd Discusses. Guys, check it out. And if you haven't heard it today, Amazing.